Welcome back. This is CJ with Christopher Jewell Design in Luminate Denver. And if you are working on a Webflow project and looking to integrate custom page transitions just to, elevate the quality of the site and add a little bit more professionalism and a touch of elegance that a lot of other people are unable to do, especially in, your standard builders, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, etc. And you're not a particularly savvy developer, this is the perfect spot for you. So there is this SaaS, this software here that is serving as a service that is called Flow Transitions, and you can access it at flowtransitions.com. And once you get here, there's a little bit about the product and what it does and how it works. If you're only looking to work on one site with one transition, they have a free option. It'll always be free, so feel free to use that. Or if you're looking to get into a little bit more complex work with multiple sites, then there is a very low fee that you can do monthly plans with them. So let's take a quick look at how it works, and we'll zoom through this video. It's very straightforward, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. So once you're here, first thing you want to do is sign in or create an account, but I do have one, so I'll sign in. Beautiful. And I should have one saved, but if not, yeah, I do. But if you're just opening this and you don't have anything saved, first thing we want to look at is the settings over on the left. In the center, this is just our preview panel, essentially. So when you click on it, or you can also hit spacebar, which I'm doing right now, spacebar, that'll show you a preview of the transition. And up at our settings, let me get this little thing out of the way. You'll go elsewhere. You got our name, probably transition 1, and you have a little save button up here to store it. And if you want to store multiple, it is a fee, but everything I'm doing in this video is free. We have two types. We have a slide and panels. Slide is really very simple, like straightforward. Maybe you just want a black thing moving across the screen or whatever. But panels has the opportunity for you to get a little bit more fun with things. Like we can see here that's divided into 10, but once you up that number to about 50, you can go 100. It gets a little bit more seamless. So the colors I used in here are coming from my site. You can obviously use whatever color you want. You got RGB, and then at the bottom, if you select, you can switch to the hue, saturation, light, and then you can put a hex code. So however you want to use it, no problem. And then we have two other settings here that are transition out and transition in. The direction, obviously, is the direction. So say we went up to down, or probably up to up, I guess. But just for simplicity's sake, left to left. Oh, sorry, I actually want right to right. Seems more, standard to me. And then there's options with the stagger. I won't get too deep into this stuff, but essentially it just breaks down the panels into a little bit of like an offset delay. So there's fun things you can do with it, and then, have different easing. But for me, I want a stagger of 0, nice and smooth, easing in and out. And then, it's another thing is you can play with the easing, but regardless. So once you've got your setup, very quick, very straightforward, save it out so that when you come back to the site, it's still here. And then at the top right, we have our embed icon, which will lead us to the instructions. 2 simple steps, really, really easy. So if you're not familiar with custom code, that's no problem, really simple. First thing we're going to do is grab this first set of code, which you can copy from this little thing right here. And we're going to take that and put it into the head tag of your project. So I'll pop on over to Webflow. And if you don't have the FinSuite extension, it would be a good time to get it. Otherwise, I guess I'll show you both. If you have FinSuite, you can do it from here. But if you don't, then you got to go to your site settings, custom code, and then in your head code, pop that in here. And it looks like part of that's already in here, so I'm going to pull it out. But for you, if that's empty, pop it in. And there should be a G tag here too. Okay. Nonetheless, I'll come back for it. That's a different thing, Google Analytics. So once that's done, let's get back to the designer. And we'll go back to flow transitions. So step 1, complete. And step 2 is down here. We can see we have all these different div elements. And because I selected 100 elements, there's 100 individual divs that are being utilized. So what we're going to do with this is we want to add this code to every page. If we The best way to do that is to create a reusable component or put it inside of one of your reusable components, works just as well. But if you put it into the global, that will result in flickering, and we want it to be perfect, seamless. So once it's copied, back to your Webflow. Again, for me, I'm going to be putting this in what is our footer section, or you could do your nav or whatever, because it's something that applies to all of the other pages already. You could just create a reusable component and add it into all of your pages as needed, but I think if you have, a global footer or any other global section that's or global component, I should say, that just adding it inside of there is just as easy. So specifically, we're going to pull up an embed and add that in, and I just use Command E. I'll do that one more time for anybody who doesn't know what's going on there. Inside our footer, and you can go up here and you can add wherever the code embed is. Something, yeah, there it is. Or a little pro tip, Command E, and then you can search whatever you want, and then just hit return. And I'm going to paste in those 100 div elements, save and close. And you can create a component out of it for our purposes here. I already have actually a class name for it, but name it whatever you want, because you're done. It really doesn't matter. So I'll open the site up just to show you there's nothing going on right now as we click around. But once we republish, let me go check it out again with a quick refresh, and we're already seeing it. Boom, just like that. So anytime we change pages, it's just pushing us right over. No problem. So that's the end of it. It's a really straightforward, simple software to use. So if you have any questions or honestly any suggestions or things that you'd like to see that maybe we haven't thought about yet, please feel free to leave that in the comments, and we'll get back to you whenever we can with whatever we can. So hopefully this was helpful to someone. I appreciate you watching, and see you next time.